don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall off. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. TradeFly, get the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, we full time with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Tar Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall off. Sound off. Get with them. Sound off.
Alexandra. Yeah, that's my alumni. You know what I mean.
Hey, good morning, Piper Academy alumni. What's up? This is Army Piper. We got a great show lined up for you today. I'm selling Bitcoin. What am I buying? And matter of fact, I've already sold the Bitcoin this morning above 47K. I'm going to be breaking all that down for you. We got some news today. Had some earning reports, a CPI readjustment, and a whole lot more. Guys, it's time. Class is in session. Let's get it. Good morning, everybody out there. Thanks for joining us right here on Piper Academy. This is the show where we bring you the news, the charts, the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Big shout out to everybody. I hope you enjoyed that new intro that we had this morning. It's actually going to be an outro, and there's a couple of more changes being done on it by Kid Mental, making that for you guys. But yeah, I hope you guys heard all your names in there. There's Alexandra G in there, ZTS Rhythm, little OC Spaghetti reference in there, some Salt Train. It was pretty good. But yeah, that's my alumni. You know what I mean? That's what that song's for. Hope you guys enjoyed that. We got a great show lined up. I know you guys are looking at that thumbnail going, what the hell is Piper talking about? He's selling Bitcoin. We're on our way. You're right. We are. And I'm going to break down what I did, why I did it, and everything in this show today. Trust me, it is a strategic move. I don't typically make bad moves when I think in the strategic level. So let's go ahead and talk about what's going on today with my co-host, because I can't do this by myself. I got a great team. I got ZTS Rhythm, Crux in the background, but and of course my beautiful mods out there making it happen every day in the chat. But I've also got these two guys right here. That is TradeFly and OC Guy. OC Guy, line, speak it, Mexican spaghetti. That's your jam there, bro. How's it going, man? How you guys doing?
It's good, man. Getting the soul train ready.
That's right. That's right. Soul on the move today. DYM on the move today. We got a lot of stuff to go over, so let's go ahead and just jump right on into it. Want to give a shout out to Bedredden and to Mr. J, our magna cum laude and our summa cum laude out there. Oh, wait, we got a new one. Eric Wallen. Eric Wallen has joined the Magna ranks, so shout out to him also. I got to give that shout out now. And to all the other members, we've been making some great trade calls over in the Discord. So if you guys are not over there getting those, it's really simple. Become a member. It's you can join for the basic low tier membership and still get those trade setups that we do over there. But there's a whole lot more perks at the other levels. But guys, we got giveaways and all kinds of stuff coming up. Starting next week, we're going to be we may be talking to someone to get an NFT that we're going to buy so that we can give an NFT away. So we're going to be doing all that and a whole lot more, guys. We have big plans for the alumni. So let's go ahead without any further ado. Let's get into the news and talk about what I'm seeing and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So looking here at the crypto bubbles, guys, on the daily right now, you can see Rune up 15.8%. So Thorchain kicking it. TAO 11.5. I saw a really good trade from one of our members on that yesterday. I think he was up like almost 60%. So really good trade there. DYM up 10.8. Pith up 7.7%. Some other ones that are moving really good in here today. Let's take a look. Bitcoin up 4.8%. Yes, and I sold it. Ethereum 3.1%. And I was talking about this yesterday. Ethereum was sitting on its 50% fib. And I said, look, I was on T-Shroom show. I was over on Investing Bros with T-Stream yesterday, and I said, look, Ethereum is holding this 50% line. When Ethereum starts to move, the rest of the alts are going to move with it. Well, that's what happened overnight. Almost like the powers that be were listening to Army Piper over there on Investing Bros and said, okay, move Ethereum and make everything else go with it, right? I wish it was that easy in life, right? BNB only up 1.7%. Getting a lot of red on the past hour here. Cardano, though, up 2.1%. Avalanche up 4.1%. Where is the big mover, though, that I saw here earlier? I was looking at it and I went, holy cow. It was not BitSensor.
Did you see COTI? It may not be on here, but COTI
It may not be on it. That might have been what it was, but I saw something that was like really just moving hard. And I was like, what is this moving for? Oh, it was BONK.
Yeah.
BONK was moving like crazy right now. Yeah. So we'll take a look at that in a second. Okay. Jumping over to liquidations here, guys. These liquidations. Move that little screener out of the way there. There we go. Let's get in here, take a look at BONK. Past 24 hours, 45,678 traders liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $157.5 million. Largest single liquidation order happened on BitMEX XBT versus USD for a total value of $5.1 million. Let's get over here. Let's take a look at the economic calendar. Nothing major going on today. I do have an update from X.com. There was a CPI recalculation from last month. The CPI, the core inflation, was actually lower than what it was reported as. So that is a little bit for bullish movement there. But right now, today, Fed Logan's speech, that's it for this week, closing out the economic calendar. Taking a look here at earnings today, guys. Earnings reports yesterday. CleanSpark came in, absolutely crushed it. Got an article about that. They beat their expectation by a bunch, and they got upgraded on their buy from the analyst over there in the Wall Street world, in the TradeFly world. They've upgraded them. So CleanSpark looking to be a very powerful force in the mining world right now, along with Riot and some others. So looking Friday today, PepsiCo going to be having their earnings reports today. And then who else in there that's big? Looks like that's probably about it. So closing out the week with nothing major on the earnings side. DYM token, guys, let's talk about this for a second. Dimensions DYM token skyrockets to all-time high post-mainnet launch. DYM's value soared over 92% post-mainnet launch, hitting an $8.31 high. Mainnet event boost DYM's market cap to 17.92, trading volume by 64% almost. Big Brain Staking controls 35% of DYM, raising governance concerns. So, no, I still have not gotten any of this. I know that the staking unlocks airdrops, and so people are incentivized to stake it, so on and so forth. But still watching this one closely. It's about the governance. There's a whole lot controlled. It's centralized. It's very centralized. And I don't mind centralization normally, but when it's a project this small, this starting out, that lack of distribution of tokens concerns me a bit. So if you're into it, do your own research. I prefer, I don't need to make money everywhere that there is to make money. I just need to protect what I've made. So looking here, Bitcoin breaking above $47,000 for the first time since March 2022. Which, by the way, was about the time that I sold my last Bitcoin to buy, to put as a down payment on a car. And then I replaced the Bitcoin that I bought at the bear market bottom and replaced the exact amount of Bitcoin that I sold off for about half the price. So I got about 10 grand for free on my car that came out of nowhere. I just created money. So on the federal government, look at that. But yeah, Bitcoin breaks above $47,000 for the first time. On Friday, the flagship cryptocurrency rose more than 4% to $47,300, according to Coin Metrics. Levels not seen since March of 2022. Ether advancing above $2,500. So Bitcoin trading volume and sentiment has been suppressed over the past 2 weeks. Investors worried about big outflows. I think that worry is a little bit gone now because from what I'm seeing, everybody is buying up Bitcoin on the institutional side. So CleanSpark, last article here, and then I'll get into the so what of why I'm doing what I'm doing, because you guys probably want to know. And then I'll tell you towards the end what I'm buying. So you got to stick around if you want that info. CleanSpark post stellar quarter one FY 2024 result with the 165% revenue surge. Revenue growth, CleanSpark reported 165% year-over-year increase, reaching $73.8 million. They expanded their hash rate. I just put out articles this week about CleanSpark was getting new mining, I believe it was in Louisiana and someplace else. Like they're buying up new locations to expand. So they crushed it. They did really good, and it's up quite a bit today. We'll take a look at that. So let's jump over here and let's talk with the gang. So guys, what did you guys think when you saw my thumbnail this morning? Because it probably was pretty shocked by that, I would imagine, because we had not discussed this at all. So let me know what you guys are thinking on it.
Oh yeah, man! I just promptly went in and bought your Bitcoin. That was pretty easy.
Oh, so I'm glad someone bought it. So, no, okay, no, that's fair. That's fair. I knew I was going to get backlash for this. I knew I was, but I have a reason for it. I knew it.
Man, but institutions, they might eat that up. We'll see.
This is true. And someone is asking about fake news because we had 49K recently on the charts. So yes, this is actually not the highest. We were just higher, but it was not a candle closed. I think they're expecting that this candle closes because we haven't had a candle close in 2024. This would be the highest. But yes, you are correct, Mario. We did have a higher one. Fake. See, look how they manipulate that news. They're trying to entice FOMO. So, yeah, OC guy, what do you think about it, bro?
Oh, not much. I mean, I was a little bit surprised when you mentioned it today in the morning, and I was like, "Oh, well, are you taking some profits?" And you will, "Oh, I'm going to be revealing it." But also at the very beginning of the channel, there was a poll, right? And I did a hit on replacing it with something else. So I'm going to go with that. You're replacing it with something else, and at the same time taking some profits on your Bitcoin. But I mean, it was a little bit surprising to me. I would have thought that you would have hold it through the halving event and just shortly after the halving event, maybe sell it off because we usually have a historical pullback or pull down after the halving event. But yeah, I'm pretty eager to see what you get there.
Yeah. So for transparency purposes, I have 2 Bitcoin. Well, had 2 Bitcoin. I now have 1 Bitcoin. So I sold 1 whole Bitcoin off. So I did sell 50% of my Bitcoin. So for the sake of transparency, I do still have exposure to raw Bitcoin, native Bitcoin, and I will show you what I'm doing with the other half here in just a second. But I do want to talk about this. Let's jump back over into news. The KBC letter, guys, yesterday, S&P 500 officially hit 5,000 for the first time in history. Is that fake news? I don't know. Since the October 20, no, it's 5,000 first time. Since the October 27th low, the S&P is now up an average of about 900 points. This means that the S&P has added more than $8.5 trillion in market cap in 3 months. So truly a historic run for stocks, and that's what we see there. And then look here. Key CPI revision. I just talked about this. It's lowering the inflation rate for December. So in December here, they had it at 0.1, and it actually got lowered. So it was at 0.3 and they lowered it to 0.1. So yeah, CPI better than expected. And then lastly here on the X marks the spot, BlackRock and Fidelity spot Bitcoin ETFs have amassed over $3 billion in assets. They now own a crap ton of Bitcoin, guys. an absolute metric shit ton of Bitcoin. That's what they own. So let's get into the charts. And I will show you guys what I'm working with over here. Come here, sir. Let's drop you down. Taking a look at Bitcoin right now, you can see here that we do have a little doji candle forming right now. This is not why I sold. I sold above the 47,000 mark because I figured it was a good spot to buy. We do have our previous high back here. This was $49,000 that we rejected on. That would be the highest we've been since March 2022. But what I'm watching for right now is that it does look like there might be a slight bit more upside. You can see that we're getting a little a little upside here, kind of like the pullback that we had here and up, and then the pullback here and up. We do have that happening here. I do see us coming up and retesting this previous range back here at about 49K. I'm already moved my money off of the exchange after I sold it for my Bitcoin, and I've already started to maneuver money to where it's going. So again, we will talk about all of that in a moment. Let's get over here and talk about this chart, guys. Take a look. We are running up right now onto that platinum pocket again. We're still in phase 3. I talked about that we had this clean bounce here, and that we were likely, since we bounced in the golden pocket, that we were likely heading back up to 48.5. Why did I not hold? I've still got exposure. I'm good. You guys are all asking these questions in your minds. I know you are, because when I look at this, I'm like, why would I not hold to 48 or 49 if I think it's going there? It's because I want the exposure. I think the growth rate of where I'm going is going to beat Bitcoin. Well, you guys will see. Shout out to all the people in the chat right now. We got Dave Digital in the house right now. Lunar Beaches Crypto. We got Alexander G in here. Justin Eubanks, Drew XRP. Who else we got? Who else we got in here? Is anyone in here talking about the what they think I'm doing? What do you guys think I'm doing? I want to know. Oh, Drew, you're T-Stream's best friend. Nice, awesome, great to have you here. Let me know in the chat what you guys think I'm buying into. But I'm gonna go ahead and pass this over to. We're gonna go with OC guy, and then Soul Train TradeFly. So OC guy, lines form the Mexican spaghetti. Get it ready, bro. You got it.
Absolutely. So I just wanted to touch base on what's happening here. Basically, I am. Oh, just 1 second. Here we go. Perfect. I'm on McDonald's here because we have seen that we have the earnings report, and just so you guys know, we've been looking at McDonald's. Pretty good movement here. It's not about the breakout; it's about retest. So heads up there. We are below that zero lining here and looking bearish McDonald's, right? So nonetheless, we were previously on all-time highs, so we could be just keep going into a daily, because daily is still strong on McDonald's. But let's just wait a little bit on that one before we commit to that one. Nonetheless, I've been looking at McDonald's, and it's been doing great. Also, we had an alert on METIS. So METIS basically going into the previous box that we looked at yesterday right here, breaking through, and let's see if we can make it, because we have right here a bearish divergence. Although timing is on my favor this time, we are flipping off the rebound right now, and let's just see what we still have right there at those areas. Let me just bring up a couple of things. Seems like internet's a little slow. There we go. The most important line on daily right here at let's see, 98.36, basically acting as the next resistance. So we want to first see that we bounce, that we confirm that flip of the real, which is already confirmed, but we need one more candle breaking through this resistance area. So just be careful on that one. And that's what I got, Piper. Throwing it back to you guys.
Awesome. Soul Train. Let's go, TradeFly. Get it, bro.
Let's go. So we're going to revisit BITC. So we've been talking about that the past few days, and guess where we made it to? Just below the orange line here, which is about 37.36. This was my area of resistance I was looking at. So this is about where we caught it here around 31, and we talked about this area here, flip the resistance into support. We got that retest there, and then it continued up and right. So one of the things I told you as well is take a look and keep your eye on Bitcoin, right? But let's just take from move here when we've been talking about it to time now. That's a 17% move. So that was a pretty nice one. Just wanted to revisit that. Obviously, now we're at resistance, and this is probably where I would say I'm going to exit, right? So this is now we're just saying, okay, what are we going to do at this level? Are we going to get a rejection, or are we going to break through, come back, get a retest? But here's the actual high. Let's see, let me get rid of that. There you go. That's the actual high here. And you can see there was a pretty big sell-off. Let me move that over for you so you can see kind of the volume associated with it. So, but yeah, just wanted to follow up on BITC. This is a Bitcoin ETF, just so you guys know. We've been talking about it since last week, I believe. I would say at this point, this one's done for me. This is probably where I would exit and just kind of take a wait and see approach at this point. And then let's see what happens after it interacts with this level here.
Nice. Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday, I believe, where I was talking about that big gap in that range that we were at. There was a big gap on the way up, so we're seeing that play out beautifully right now. So, hey guys, we got about almost 60 people in here watching right now. Well, it's dropped a little bit, but that's okay. You guys, people are coming in going, "What is this clickbait?" It's not clickbait, I promise you. But if we hit 50 likes, I will reveal what I'm buying earlier. But I do want to give a personal conversation, a personal comment here to Dave Digital. Bro, we are solid. You ain't got to worry about nothing, man. I was just giving you a hard time yesterday, bro. I got nothing but love for you. You are awesome. The double D is always welcome in my world. So let's go over here, take a look at this chart, guys. Yesterday on Investing Bros afternoon, I said, look, right now Bitcoin's moving, Ethereum not really doing anything. It was down in here. I said, but we're in this 50% Fibonacci range line here, and that is what I'm watching. As long as we hold this, Ethereum is going to get its takeoff. When Ethereum starts to move, all the alts are going to move with it. And that's exactly what happened as soon as I got off the show yesterday. Ethereum started to move. That would have been about right here on this candle. So about the time I got off the show, Ethereum made its move up, broke the 382, and then all of the alts started to move right behind it, getting really good movements overnight. So that is what happened with that. But the one thing I want to go look at, let's go take a look at BONK, because BONK went bonkers. It's getting a big pullback right now, but BONK up 12.5%, came right off of this dynamic reactor and up it went. We got a ribbon flip here that printed on this candle. So this would have been about 9 o'clock last night, but BONK getting big movement overnight. Evidently Asia going bonkers for BONK. Yeah, that's what we got there. So guys, keep an eye out, keep a watch on those likes. When we hit 50 likes, I will grind over to another chart and show you guys what I'm working with, where this whole Bitcoin sold at over $47,000 is going. So OC, we're going to kick it back to you. What you got in the crypto side, man?
Let's take a look at what I got on my alarm set. So let's just wait a little second here. Let's go to CTSI USD. So basically, we were looking at this yesterday on Binance, basically against Tether. So we are following on that same pattern. Look at that. We were barely on that alarm set that we have going on here. If you guys are wondering if I enter a short, yes, I did. I entered right here, slightly below my entry. I'm right there. So I'm just barely profitable on that short. I'm not gonna be holding it for too long, because as you can see, it did not ring my alarm, so that did not let me know on time. Nevertheless, still on play, because we have a bearish divergence and we are going strongly to that zero line. I need to see that we break support, although I am looking for a resistance here, or sorry, for a support here, and also for a flip of the ribbon. All right, so just full transparency, I did jump into this trade, guys. Hopefully you also are doing something on the crypto space. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm just showing you what I do and how I do it. All right, and we have selling pressure right here on the VPVR area. So looking forward for a possible break, but I'm ready to take profits as soon as I see flip of the river here and a bounce right on that area right there. So that's what I got in the crypto space. In fact, I'm gonna just clear this up and then just show you guys in the next round where is exactly my entry. But kicking it back to you guys.
Awesome. TradeFly, what you got for us, brother?
Right on. So you remember that time I talked about Coinbase?
Remember that one time in Bandcamp?
Yeah, you remember that time? And then I was like, hey, we're at the golden pocket and we have divergence. This is why I love TA. Look at this. So Coinbase, it took off. And that was about a 22% move. So, here we are time now, kind of looking at it. We're messing with the 50-day moving average here. So kind of want to see if it breaks there. You're also at the 382, right? So you have confluence here. And then this is actually showing an area of resistance as well. So you want to see like time now again. So for me, just so you guys know, I like kind of swing trading, intraday stuff. What I like to trade from is area of support, area of resistance, and that's usually where I'll exit, and then I wait. and I wait to see like what the next move is in terms of if we're getting a rejection or if we break through, and then I'm looking for some kind of retest here in this area because there's so much confluence in there. So if it comes up and then comes down, and of course, why wouldn't it draw it? There we go. Like that, we get the retest, and then I'll look for some continuation of the upside. But what you want to do too is come down to your oscillators and start looking at things like RSI, MACD, and see what the trend is there as well, making sure you're not kind of getting into an oversold or an overbought situation on the RSI, and seeing if you're flipping down to the negative side on the MACD. So, just wanted to come back, revisit this because it's another one that we've been watching and we looked at, and it made its move now. So, just want to follow up. But the key here is looking at it and saying, okay, why were we talking about it? Why did it make its move? And then you can learn, right? You can go back. And if you see this setup again, then you know that it's about probabilities, right? Percentage wise, you want to put something in your favor. That's the best you can do as a trader. So that's why I'm coming back and looking at this and be like, hey, if you see this again, where you have divergence right here, you're coming down to the golden pocket, and then price action's coming down, and look, you get this high volume area of transactions, which means people are buying, not selling. And then, if you have a chart prime indicator, then you'll have the dynamic reactor. I mean, there was a lot of confluence here, and there was a reason I was pointing this out. So just want to revisit that. It's kind of like a learning point as well. So
the power of chart prime. Hey, I want to give a shout out. ZTS Rhythm purchased a membership. He gifted a membership, and it went to Trade Intuition. So Joe over there at Trade Intuition picked up that free gift membership. So shout out to ZTS Rhythm. My son's spending my hard-earned money that I pay him.
I was about to say, spending your money?
Like my we're just recycling money over here. We're for the federal government. Maybe we are the federal government. I'm just saying. Let's get over here and take a look. Those likes, guys, we're almost at 50, so you guys can get them up there. Let's go ahead and take a look here what I'm watching. Caspa. I made a call on Caspa in our Discord over here when it was at the 11.2 cents. I said, look, we're at the 11.2. My first take profit for rejection and resistance is going to be right here on the phase 6. We had discussed this phase 6 golden pocket at 12.8 cents. And that's why I put the red T box on there that you can see. We did get a lot of play there, a little pullback, caught the top trade band of the predictive ranges from Chart Prime's Dynamics Pro. And then I said my second target would be up here at the phase 7 golden pocket, which is going to be at 14.5 cents. We are getting rejection on the top frame here right now. This is the top frame of the predictive ranges. There's 7 lines. They're kind of like Fibonacci's, but they're based on momentum and volume of the candles when it breaks out from a previous area, and then it's there the whole time, guys. It doesn't repaint. Those lines, they tell you these are the ranges, right? We are rejecting from that top one right now, getting a pullback. I'm going to be watching really closely because right here, back in our T box again, we do have a support band right here coming from the predictive range. We've got that phase 6, and this would be a nice spot to come back and retest after all that resistance. So I'm watching for a retest there before we come back up and ultimately head to that upside move there. If you're looking for a long entry, you could set up, not financial advice, what I would do, I'd set up an entry right here on that 12.8, setting my stop loss down here, just below this previous wick down where we got this hammer candle. And then I would be looking for my take profit 1 on that top band right there again. At that point, move your stop loss into profit and take profit 2, closing out the rest of it at that phase 7 golden pocket. That would be the trade setup that I would watch for on there. And Caspa, this is your trade setup for the day, brought to you by Piper Academy. Let's go and head over to OC Guy again.
Absolutely. So guys, let me just clean up a little bit of my charts in here so we can dive into a simple thing that we have here. Remember that I was looking at this triangular formation. This is the one that we were discussing yesterday, right? In which I wasn't that, I didn't agree with the bottom of the base being right here. All right. So what we have right now, it is a breakthrough that trend line that we had going on. We have a strong signal, and we are forming what I call a dog face or a goose head. Basically, if you zoom in here, you'll see that it kind of resembles a goose. I like those guys. They're pretty aggressive and awesome as pets. I don't know that I did not have one myself, but I know one, somebody that does. they just chase you around.
That looks like a duck.
Yeah. Well, I call it like goose, right? But yeah, I mean, I also call it a dog face.
It's okay.
But yeah,
but duck face is a whole different theme. It's not attractive. Ladies, duck face is not attractive.
Yes, no duck face, please.
All right. All
right.
So that's what else you got there? That it?
Right. Just basically, on ADA, basically, just looking at this development here, I'm going to be looking for a possible retracement. I haven't entered for a long in here because I could be just dropping as I have a double top in this area. So I'm waiting for this area to be hit, going for the retest, maybe a possible high risk shorting here. And then at the retest, I'm going to be looking for a possible long. If I break this area and then I retest on that area, this is going to be my next entry area, and I can just back it up right here with the supports and resistance along. Let me see where they are, my order blocks. Here we go. Support and resistances that I have as base and also as the topping here for the next resistance that goes along here. So that's what I'm looking, guys. So stay safe on that. And I would like to try to TradeFly, or if we can, of course, because he was talking about that we completely look over ADA projects, and he was talking about something interesting that maybe can cut your attention. I don't know. Let's throw it back to you guys, and
let's get over there. Big shout out to the alumni. We just broke 3,400 subscribers. So shout out to you guys. You guys, MVPs. I'm telling you. No, that's the wrong sound effect. We need party horns. It ain't a joke. Let's get over here. Check out your chart here, TradeFly. What you got for us, bro?
Right on. So not really doing a lot of TA on this. All right. So I just wanted to point this out to you. And I was talking to OC like pre-show, and I was like, what I was sleeping on that I used to follow quite a bit was COTI. And then I went and looked at the charts, brought it up, and I was like, dang, it popped pretty hard. So at this point, I'm not going to say, hey, go ape into this. Like, the time for that is a little bit past. We'll say we got to let it kind of settle down and see what it's going to do at this point. But it is something like, hey, like, I want to put this on your radar, right? This is something you should keep an eye on because it is a project under ADA. I believe it does something with the transactions, if I remember correctly. And then they just announced something with Ethereum as well. So I don't have a lot of like info on it. I got to do a little bit of research, but I do know that some good news came out for COTI, and I think that's why they're popping. So just wanted to put it out there as something you guys can go out and do a little research on, something I'm going to do a little research on. Right now, just looking at the charts right here, you can see that it is at an obvious little area of resistance. And you see that, right? You see the rejection there, and you're looking here, and then, there's all kinds of good stuff going on in this area right here. But you see clear support, clear resistance. And so going back left on the chart, that would probably have been a nice little area for an exit just to see what happens. Because that's how I like to do trading. I don't really like to hold because a lot of times you'll have these massive like retracements or pullbacks, especially when you have this like trajectory that's up, so significant. So just a little measurement on that. I mean, from here to there, that's 86% move. So yeah, it's likely, I would say, to pull back. We'll see what it does when it interacts with this area of resistance here. But yeah, COTI, take a look at it. Get smart on it. It might be an opportunity for you guys.
I do have a little request for you. Could you change your oscillator to the MVP oscillator? And guys, I learned this trick out of this guy up here, the master in the charts. There you go. Oh, you guys are bullying me with that. I'm not able to neither send actual hearts, neither party. And I want to look at that area right there. So let me imagine on your oscillator that you have a zero line. Oh, there you go. And if the ribbon is below the zero line on your oscillator, which is not there, I mean, we're going to be imagining it just at this point. And then we have some green bars. That is a good point to start DCing. And once he mentioned that, I went right away to the charts and look at the MVP oscillator and look at that. That was a very nice zone to start DCing. And if you would have DC'd a little bit in there, I mean, that would be amazing. And shout out to Mr. J. He said that he bought yesterday some COTI. So very nice, brother. I just wanted to show that. Thank you. Thank you for that, TradeFly.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man.
Yeah, hey, I want to give a shout out also because I did not know this. We got a new member, Paulo G. So shout out to Paulo G. And then also Spee, SPEEE. Is from around the bros community and stuff. He's been on a lot of the shows. He joined summa cum laude. So shout out to Spee. I did not get you in the initial shout out, and I apologize. I am sorry. Let's go over here and let's take a look at what I'm looking at on the charts right now. I'm looking at Caspa, and that is not what I'm supposed to be looking at. I'm looking at Chainlink. Actually, there we go. Went back to Caspa. So yesterday on the show, or in the trade community with Bedredden, I talked about this. Got to put the Chainlink hat on for this. I said, look, we've got this little head and shoulders that we're left shoulder over here, got a little head over here, and little right shoulder there. That is what I'm watching. I drew this neckline. I said, if we break this, and we were sitting right here at the time, I said, if we break this, I'm going to be looking for us to break off of this trend line and then come down, my target being down here in this green zone. And actually that measured move, if you actually take a look here, that would be this moved down to this, which would be right there at the dynamic reactor. So that is another trade setup that I went over with Bedredden yesterday. Did a little one-on-one with him because he's not able to do the afternoon sessions that we do because of where he's at. He's in Norway, or Sweden, I mean. So yeah, so I went ahead and did that little one-on-one with him, put that trend line on there. Still in play right now, retesting that trend line, looking for Chainlink to do a little pullback there. Not a bad move. It would be about from where it's currently at, or from where it's currently at, it'd be about a 7% move. But from that trend line, it's about an 8% move. So that's what I'm watching for there on Chainlink. Still bullish on it. Just it would be a good retest to come back and retest the top of that range. If you're wondering what that yellow line is there, that is that range that it was in. We turn everything else off here. Goodbye, goodbye, and goodbye. That would be that range that we were trading in there, and that would be the top that I think that it would come back to retest in line with that dynamic reactor from Chart Prime coming in right there. So that's what I'm looking at on Chainlink right now. I think because it's 8:07, let's do one more quick round, and then I'm going to go do the breakdown on what I'm buying and why, because it's a little bit of a setup of what triggered me to move that direction. So let's go ahead and go to OC guy again, and then TradeFly, and then I will go into my what am I buying chart. So there we go.
Perfect. Let's move out of data, and also I want to take a look at RNDR. It has been moving. I mean, we took a look at last time that it ringed an alert. It was on February the 2nd. So we also have been just ignoring it for a little bit. And I believe that now is the time where we should be taking a look at it again, because look at where is it right now. It is our previous zone where we were expecting it to get to, right? So right now we need to reassess this trade. Look at that. It's basically moving as we were expecting it. So it's not about the breakout, it's about the retest, and off we go. Hopefully you guys did take on that trade. I absolutely did not. Just so you know, I missed on that one. I forgot to say or set up my alerts. So too bad for me, but that happens. It's time for me to look at it back and what it's going to be doing. I believe that we could be having a flip of the ribbon there. And if we get that flip of the ribbon, I'll be looking again at this trend line going in back down here. So let me just bring up my order blocks. Let me see if I can find them. There we go. And I can see a high order block here that I previously had marked right there. All right. So the importance of this order block, it is telling me that, I mean, the order blocks for me are magnetic. So I'm going to be a little bit cautious because I know I said right now that we could be flipping, but look at where that flip could be going to. So if we do or perform a very quick DNA analysis, so let's see how far does it go. We still had a little bit of room to move from there, all right? And if I measure that move, I could be having that movement right there. So let me just grab those candles from here to, let's do even here, and then push them right there. And if we calculate that, look at that beautiful reach all the way to the high order block and going for the retest. So guys, I'm looking at RNDR at this point. Heads up on that one. This is not financial advice, but if you can catch it, that would be, I believe, an amazing trade. Remember, we already have plan A, bouncing from where is it right now. And plan B, just an early flip, break through that trend line that we have going on there and reaching the high order block. So turning back to you guys.
Awesome. TradeFly, you're up.
Right on. Let's pull up Sol. So looking at Sol right now, we are at an area of resistance. So it seems to be a trend here with a lot of the things that I'm looking at is we're flirting with resistance. So we've kind of had some of our moves up. This one right here, this coincided with a support level at the 382. So at about $83 or so. It looks like we got a nice little area of support where it bounced. It started flirting with all these moving averages. I do remember talking about those, the 20 and the 50 day, and then seeing what we did in this area. So we did actually break through, come down, get the retest that you always hear about. And then we got a little bit of continuation to the upside, but then we are at a clear area of resistance. So this is another one. It's kind of like I'd say a wait and see what we do as we interact. Right now, it looks like it doesn't want to push through too hard. Let's go to a smaller time frame though. Let's see kind of how many times. Sometimes I like to look at that, like how often is it testing that area. So yeah, it's retesting, but we'll see if it actually holds up. But it's just riding the 20-day moving average up right now. So let's see if it maintains that. On the 1 hour, here's a couple little areas of resistance and support. You got support here. It looks at about 102.75, which would also coincide with the 50-day. But that's just a quick look on the hourly. So we'll see. It looks like coming down to the oscillator here, it is probably losing a little bit of steam. So you're seeing a little bit of divergence, and it is starting to make its way down and right. So I think maybe in the near term here, you're probably going to see a little bit of a breakdown. My guess would be it would at least come back down to about 102 and retest that area before we see it come back up and retry this area of resistance. So just a quick look at Sol. Let's go out to the daily real quick, just get you some numbers here.
The Sol train.
The Sol train, baby. Let's go. So yeah, that kind of coincides, right? That lines up too. You're looking here to the left. That's one of my big things. It's just coming back and validating what I just saw. And you are seeing areas of resistance as well. So yeah, I think maybe probably a little bit of a pullback, maybe like to like 102 before we could see some kind of move back up. So I'll kind of draw it here. And then maybe we'll see something like that. So keep an eye though, definitely on the prime oscillator and or RSI if that's what you guys use. And then if we break through here, obviously what we always talk about, looking for it to come down and retest before you see that continuation of the upside. But right now, short term, I think we're going to see a little bit of rejection, a little bit of a pullback, and probably I'd say like somewhere in the area of like 102.
Awesome. Appreciate that. Let's go ahead and jump in here. Let's talk about this. We're going to go ahead and lay this out. So again, for those that are just joining, I sold half of my Bitcoin, one whole Bitcoin this morning. I had 2 Bitcoin in my bags. I sold one. It's gone. I sold it over $47,000. I took profit on it. I'm happy with that. We're currently at $46,879. I did good. I did good. By the way, ORNJ for Arsan request and Jupiter, we're going to get to here if we have time at the end of this. So if one of you guys want to go ahead and pull up ORNJ, I will do Jupiter, and then one of you guys could do ORNJ. Just let me know who it's going to be. So guys, here's the deal. Yesterday, if you may have gotten a little precursor insight on this, if you were watching Investing Bros, I laid this out. This is the Bitcoin cycle performance, okay, from bottoms to tops every cycle going back on Bitstamp. Last cycle, Bitcoin did 2,109% to the upside. Phenomenal returns, right? I get it. Fantastic. It's great. This cycle so far, and it's actually lower than that right now. If you actually go to where the candle currently is, it's 202% right now. What I want to show you guys is, and I'm going to go over here and we're going to pull up this chart, and then I'm going to put this over here to Marathon. This is last cycle on Marathon, guys. You can see here, Bitcoin, 2,109% move. Marathon Digital, Bitcoin mining company, did 21,800% move. That is the equivalent of taking a whole Bitcoin and putting it on a 10x leverage trade with no fees and no risk of liquidation at all. There is a lot of speculation in the market right now that the big mover for this cycle in mining is CleanSpark and Riot, okay? So before we ever even get into those, let's go ahead and take a look at MicroStrategies. MicroStrategies last cycle only did 1,000% in comparison to 2,000% for Bitcoin, but they have acquired so much Bitcoin that it is absolutely insane this cycle. Their calculations, their speculated growth rate of MicroStrategies, and if I'm going to go to the downside on Bitcoin, I've got to go to the current candle amount on MicroStrategies. This cycle so far, 202%, 203%, we'll call it, on Bitcoin from its bottom to its current price. MicroStrategies is up 307%. It's outperforming Bitcoin already. If we take a look at Riot for this cycle right now, and we go to where it's currently sitting at, it's up 226%. It's outperforming Bitcoin right now. We go to CleanSpark and we take a look at CleanSpark and we put it where it's at right now. It has been essentially almost a 3x, 2.5x on Bitcoin's performance. Bitcoin has moved 203%, CleanSpark 513%. I have taken one of my Bitcoins and sold it because I am moving that over into TradeFly exposure of CleanSpark, MicroStrategies, and Riot. Now, let's come over here and talk about this because it has outperformed Bitcoin this entire cycle, all three of them. And Riot and CleanSpark are projected to be the top Bitcoin mining gainers this run. What do you guys think about this? Am I off the chain and wearing OC guy's tinfoil hat, or is having 50% of my Bitcoin exposure in raw Bitcoin and 50% of my Bitcoin exposure in outperforming assets like CleanSpark, Riot, and MicroStrategies a solid move? What do you guys think? I want to know from you, and I want to know what you guys say here in the chat. So.
Yeah, man. So I think that, I mean, you're taking an analytical approach. I think that you've done your research on it. So yeah, man, I don't see it being a bad thing. I've diversified myself. We've kind of talked about that. I've put, I've taken some of the money, the profits that I made in crypto, I put it in real estate. Now I'm rebuilding my bags, so you're always kind of looking at other opportunities. And if you see that, as the potential there for growth is greater than what you see for Bitcoin, which I would argue might be to the contrary based on your price prediction. But yep, I remember. Yeah, so yeah, man, I don't see it being a bad thing. I think being diversified is important, right? You don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. I don't think that was I know it was a heavy part of your portfolio, but I don't think it was like over like dominant, right? You were what, at like 26% of your portfolio or something like that for Bitcoin?
26% of my portfolio is Bitcoin. Yes, yeah. And I had 2 Bitcoins, so you guys can do the math on the rest of that. But for the people talking about the altcoins, look, I've still got money that I'm got going in every month into altcoins. Like right now, I've got $18,000 waiting to deploy, at earning 5% on interest on APY, waiting to deploy into alts on big pullbacks. I'm not saying that I'm not going to move into altcoins still with my portfolio growth. Okay, this is literally just my planned out Bitcoin holdings. I was going to hold 2 Bitcoin this whole bull run. It is now 1 Bitcoin, and then alternative exposure from TradeFly. And the reason for that is, guys, look, there's Bitcoin, crypto, still very scary to a lot of people. You still have way more money sitting in TradeFly and traditional finance, trillions of dollars more. Just the growth rate that we saw on the article for CleanSpark for this year is astronomically, like parabolically, exponentially higher than the total market cap of crypto right now. It was in the trillions, just in CleanSpark. So there's a lot more money to flow into TradeFly until people get little more risk adverse, or until regulation makes things a little more safer on the exchange side. But this is a way for me to get into Bitcoin without doing a leverage trade, no trading fees, no ETF fees. It's just buying a stock and holding it that I believe is going to outperform the growth rate of Bitcoin this cycle. So I'm still holding a Bitcoin. I'm still buying altcoins. This is not taking away from anything else that I was going to do. The only thing that literally affects is the exposure of that valuation of one Bitcoin is now exposure into what I believe is going to be an outperforming asset to Bitcoin, which is Bitcoin mining and some Bitcoin holdings. So the numbers are there. They match up. It's a strategic move. I figure worst case scenario, I make the same returns that I would have on Bitcoin off of these, because if Bitcoin goes parabolic, these are going to go parabolic. That's just how it is. So, and right now, so far and historically, they have outperformed Bitcoin. So that's why I'm doing that. So,
Do you know how hard it was not to bring up CleanSpark and do TA on that today? Like, just knowing, because we talked pre-show. And did you see? Are you looking at CleanSpark right now?
yeah, it's go. You want to pull it up? Go pull it up.
Yeah.
Go for it.
All right. Let me see if I can find it here. CleanSpark. There it is. Yep. That was a nice move. So.
And it opened at that. It opened with that big jump because of the earnings reports yesterday. I do believe it's going to come back and test support, and that's why I am waiting to grab up that CleanSpark, that Riot, and that MicroStrategies. I think that I will have that opportunity in the next 7 days. So,
yeah, I just thought it would have been funny to just kind of do that and see that it was at like 22% when I looked at it. But yeah, man, that thing's still got some room for growth there. So, yeah, dude, I think it'll probably be a good play, man. So we'll see. I know we're going to be tracking it. We're going to be talking about it. That's for darn sure.
Piper's waiting to jump back into Pepe. No, not the case. I promise. I'm not doing that. CleanSpark is my girl. Yes, Eric Wallen.
To go buy tamales.
To go buy tamales. Hey, I got to get my tamales in, man. Got to get my tamales in. All right, you got ORNJ up there. I'm going to go ahead and let you do ORNJ, and then I'm going to do that Jupiter, and then OC, you can wrap us out with some TA, and then we'll take it home. But yeah, that's what I'm doing, guys. That is the plan. Full transparency. I told you guys, if you follow me and you give me your time and you listen to me and you get any enjoyment and interacting and engagement with this show, I will always be honest to tell you guys what I'm doing. I have full transparency. I will not leave you guys hanging. So I am not going to ever do anything that I tell you to do and that I'm not doing, and I'm not going to make any moves that I don't let you guys know what I'm doing. So that is a promise you get from me. So TradeFly, what you got on ORNJ here for Arsan, man?
Yeah, man. So this is the first time I've really looked at it, just added it to the list here. So I'm kind of going from where we started making that move up to the top here, looking for the pullback. It looks like it is flirting with the dynamic reactor here, but I got to be honest with you guys, like stuff like this that really doesn't have much historicals, like where you can kind of go back and look at previous support and resistance over a length of time, because that's kind of my game where I look for those multiple touch points for confirmation, and then try to find a confluence between some of the moving averages and then some of the indicators. It's really hard with that right now. So I will say that it looks like it's getting a little weak. It looks like they're selling off a little bit after this high. And I mean, that was a pretty substantial move. So just from, this last move here, you're looking at, of course, that's why you're looking at it, because it went up 600%. You guys are degens. So yeah, man, I mean, I'd be very careful with this right now. So to be honest, I would let it settle out, and I would look for, let's see if it finds support here at the 382 at about 52 cents, and see if you get multiple touch points, and then you can kind of come down and start bouncing what you see off the indicators. But like, I don't want to make a call here because it's going to be too volatile, right? It had a massive push up, and then it's going to retrace, and then we just don't know what it's going to do from here. And there's no real way for me to get confirmation on the charts to kind of push you in a direction. So as much as I want to give you something to say, hey, like this is the area to enter along, I mean, you can always look at the 618 and the 65 and be like, hey, let me send an alert here and see if it actually pulls back to this area. And that might be a likely area for a bounce, because that's just traditional way of looking at these charts. But I don't want to push you into anything with this. I prefer that you be safe and kind of take a wait and see approach on this one. So that's kind of what I'm going to say for ORNJ, honestly. So set an alert at 0.5, set an alert at the 618. That's about 44 cents and then 36 cents. But that's all I would do right now for this.
Yeah. So what someone was asking is ORNJ the Trump coin orange? No, it's not.
Yeah.
That would be Trump 2024. This is a totally different project. Let me jump over here.
Have you guys heard of is it DWAC? Is my screen still up? It is.
Yep.
Yeah, so take a look see at this one. So this one is Digital World like acquisition. I think it's like a media corporation that's involved with Trump. So every time some kind of news comes out with Trump, immediately go over and take a look see at this chart here because it seems to pop whenever there's something with Trump. So I think he was like trying to create his own media agency. Don't hold me to it. I don't know all the inner workings of it, but this one, like if he is elected president or if it looks like he's on a track, then I would start probably taking a look at this because it popped last time it was. I think it went up to like $100 or something like that. So keep an eye on it. This is one to put on your radar.
Awesome. Yeah, I got Jupiter up here, and I'm taking a look at Jupiter. Guys, I threw my, let me go ahead and show you this here. This is my fib trade strategy. These are the settings. You guys can come back here and screenshot this later so that you can set this up. And then when you go in to do it, you place them in here. Oh, come back it down. Thank you. Can you get back in there? Just go down here to save as, and I have it as fib strategy. It's one of my strategies, and when I place my fibs, I can click that, automatically sets it up. The way this works is that when you have a big pullback, sir, why Trading View, man, I'm telling you, this week Trading View has been wonky as hell. When it comes down and it does a big pullback, if that pullback hits in the golden pocket, you're supposed to do a short, and then obviously the other way, if it went up and did a pullback, you would do a long. This is the short setup on this, and so you would enter on the rejection or on the retest of the golden pocket, leaving it, which you had. It set it up perfectly right there. Yes.
So Eric Wall requested he has a long from 0.49.
He has a long from 0.49. Okay, so you got it down here. You might be okay because it did first take profit at the 0 line, Eric Wallen. But be advised, bro. Set a tight stop loss on that stuff because behind these wicks, because based on this strategy, this should be coming down to 0.44 and 0.40. So be advised, that is how that is supposed to play out. This could just take off. It's a new coin. It's low cap. There's a lot of volatility in it. I'm looking at a 30-minute chart on this right now, but that's what I'm seeing on the trade strategy. Let me go in and turn on some other indicators. We can see here that we do have a trend line, and if I do this trend line just to match it up here, see what we got and where it would be at now. It is still testing this. We did break down a couple of fake outs on it. It is still testing that trend line. And then also we are down at the bottom here of a predictive range area. That's this whole box purple line there. There's the bottom of it right there. And we keep losing these. You can see we had it here. We went up and then came back down. We had one here. We lost it. We went down. We had one here. We went down. We keep losing these. So not looking too strong on Jupe right now. It is literally just another token that's new that there's a lot of volatility in it. So be very careful, set your stop loss on it, but I am actually looking that it could come down on here. So I'd love to be wrong. Since you're long, I would love to be wrong. I would take an L for your W any day of the week, Eric Wallen. So yes, OC guy. So let's get that handsome man a mic. He has a mic. I just need to do some tweaking to the sound on it. So yes, we need to get him a microphone so we can drop him on here every now and then. ZTS Rhythm helping over there in the background. So that's what I'm looking at on Jupe. Let's go ahead and let's talk it out. We're at the end of the show here, guys. So full transparency, not clickbait. I sold a Bitcoin. No one's ever gone broke taking profit. To be fair, I did buy that Bitcoin at around $22,000. So, big profit anyways. So I'm putting a lot of free money into some Clean Spark, some Riot, and some MicroStrategy. So, guys, you guys got any outro there for the people?
Oh, no, man. As always, it's great mixing up with you guys, interacting with you guys in chat. I was a little bit more focused on looking at some of the charts today, so I didn't get to mix it up with you guys as much, but much love. I really appreciate you guys being here. If you guys got anything for today, like and subscribe. Follow us all on Twitter. And, hey, we're going to see Monday. It's Friday.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Yes. Hit that like and subscribe. Do all that good stuff, guys. let me get rid of all those things. There you go. There's a like and subscribe. We've got decrypted tax. Get a free consultation, link down below, and 25% off your services. And then, of course, legendary aviation coffee over there. Gotta love it. Quit it. Stop it, sir. There we go.
Hey, Dave was trying
OC,
to
what
put
you
that
got for the
together
people, man?
yesterday.
We're gonna play
He
the.
was like-
we're
Very
gonna,
quickly, thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you for being here. AR for Chain, I got you on the next class. Not tomorrow, but on the next 11 a.m. CST time on Chart Prime. We're gonna be taking a look at Hello and also OP. So see you guys there. Throwing it back to you, Piper.
I'm playing the song on the way out, man.
I don't know what they keep telling me.
Guys, we will catch you guys Monday, 9:30 a.m. right here on Piper Academy. Getting the news, the charts, and the markets. Trade safe.
We'll keep
Use a
that
stop
front
loss.
line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. TradeFly, get the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, form a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, we full time with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Chart Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline.
Woo!
We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall low. Sound off.
ZTS rhythm.
Sound off.
Alexander G.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah, that's my
alumni.
alumni. You know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude.